Everyone, Jim Biringer here, NHLRumors.com. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below. The world and the saga of Quinn Hughes, the New Jersey Devils, the Vancouver Canucks, other teams involved in these trade conversations, trade talk, whatever you want to call it. Elliot Friedman, Saturday on headlines. Worst kept secret in the league, right? The Vancouver Canucks open for business, right? Again, do they want to move everybody? Who are they moving? Well, the subject of Quinn Hughes, we know the Devils have been active. Devils are looking to get a center, top six forward. They've called Nashville about Ryan O'Reilly. That's their target in Nashville. And Jonathan Marchessault over Steven Stamkos to make the assets work and the money work. But also the Quinn Hughes factor, going back to when Jim Rutherford opened his mouth about, Quinn Hughes wanting to play with his brothers, trying to get maybe those guys will come to Vancouver. And the saga that is. Remember, he also said before that comment last year in the Globe and Mail that if we're going to rebuild, Quinn Hughes is gone. Well, did they really rebuild or retool? Because Jake DeBrusk, long-term contract. Brock Besser, long-term contract. Elias Pettersson, long-term contract. There's a lot of guys that are on long-term deals. Marcus Pettersson's there. Tyler Myers is there. Philip Hronek's on a long-term deal. A lot of guys with no move clauses, no trade clauses, long-term deals. Not a lot of guys are going anywhere. Thatcher Demko's re-signed. Kevin Lankinen's there. So if you're going to move out a guy like Quinn Hughes, you might as well tear the whole thing down and start over. But that's what they're not going to do. They want a center. They want to stay competitive and all that. Well, your best thing to stay competitive is keep the second best defenseman in the league. But New Jersey made the call. Tom Fitzgerald picked up the phone. He said, hey, what's going on? What's the deal? Well, we know what's out there from the New Jersey side of things, that they've made the conversation. They've had the conversation. The Canucks don't want to talk about it, but they have to talk about it. They're eventually going to have to talk about it. So who's available and what are they going to get? Well, it has to start with Simone Nemec and Dawson Mercer if they want a center and they want to get younger. Again, I will emphasize this. 10-team no trade clause for Andre Palat and Dougie Hamilton. Do the Canucks want older players like that if they want to get younger? No. Do the players want to go there? Probably not. 7 Canadian teams on both of their 10-team no trades. They're going to have to waive if they were part of the package, and they're going to say no. So that's part of it. The other parts of it are the Devils don't have the money to make it work. Right now, they have to make other moves. It's money in, money out, as we've been reporting all the time. Right? Even before the report came out, it's money in, money out. That's what it was last year. That's what it is this year. This is what happens when you lose contract negotiations. Dawson Mercer, too much. Luke Hughes, too much. The Devils didn't stick to their guns with their hierarchy and paid guys. Now they're going to have to make tough decisions on their roster. Where do they look? So that's something to watch. They just don't have the money right now. And do they have the assets Vancouver wants? Vancouver wants centers, young players. Does that mean Detroit? Does that mean Pittsburgh's a new team out there? Philadelphia, Carolina? There's a lot of moving parts to this Vancouver Canucks, New Jersey Devils thing. And don't forget, Quinn Hughes is not eligible for an extension until July 1st. So how much do teams want to give up potentially to mortgage maybe one playoff run and flip him? Could they get the same assets back? Because the Canucks are not winning a Quinn Hughes trade. They're just not. They didn't win the JT Miller trade. And the Canucks bring this on themselves. Every year they do this. And the noise doesn't stop. Some of it's manufactured outside of the market, but some of it's from the general manager and the president of hockey operations. The president of hockey operations opened this can of worms and lit the fuel to the fire. And now, you have Quinn Hughes talking about calling Tom Fitzgerald Fitzy. So they've had more than one conversation. We know the brothers, again, Jim Rutherford said the brothers would like to play together. Quinn Hughes is like, what's my brother supposed to say when Jack was asked about things? So, and where does he fit in? Does he fit in with New Jersey? Yeah, it's great, but what about Luke Hughes? There's so many factors. And where does he want to go? Does he want to go to New Jersey? Everybody assumes he's going to New Jersey. That doesn't mean anything. We assumed Matthew Tkachuk was going someplace. We assumed this guy, that guy. Bad assumptions. Whoever has the best deal is going to give the Vancouver Canucks the best trade assets. That's the deal they're going to make. Now, again, there's a verbal agreement similar to the Ryan O'Reilly situation in Nashville, which there isn't any indication right now, but there could be, that Quinn Hughes has a handshake agreement, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I have control where I want to go. I have an unofficial, official no trade, no move clause. That's what Ryan O'Reilly has in Nashville. And the Devils are looking at Nashville too. They need a center. They've been linked to Stamkos. They've been linked to Ryan O'Reilly. I think they would go Marcia Sill over Stamkos just because that's the guy they targeted at free agency and they didn't get him. But the Devils need to change up mix right now. And they've been working the phones, regardless of, if new news or not. They've been doing it. Any GM works the phones to see they can lay groundwork. But this is a delicate situation for New Jersey because since he is eligible for an extension, if they were to get him, and it probably won't be Sunday before the game or after the game, but if they were to get him, they have to be careful when to give that extension because they can't let off any red flags about tampering because the league is looking at it because it's been out there. Everybody's connecting Quinn Hughes to New Jersey because of his brothers. So very delicate situation for the Devils, the Canucks. And I don't think Quinn Hughes wanted to talk about it. I don't think the Canucks wanted to talk about it. But they brought it on themselves because Jim Rutherford opened his mouth. And if he had been quiet from the start, none of this would have happened. And everybody be going on and everybody be wondering themselves, July 1st, is Quinn Hughes going to stay in Vancouver or not? Now it's almost like they got to rush a trade to get him out of there from the noise. But again, Canucks are playing well, so maybe things turn around. Again, nothing is official till it's official. Phone calls can change. He can end up signing like everybody else. That might be low on the totem pole right now. So the best available trade option, whether it's New Jersey or somebody else, could happen. When? Nobody knows that. Most likely this summer, but hey, with things getting out there, could things ramp up? Sure. The Canucks want to do it? No. But eventually they might have to. And he might say, hey, I'm out of here. I don't want to stay. I'm tired of the noise. But only Quinn Hughes knows what he wants to do. So it's a very interesting situation to watch with New Jersey, Quinn Hughes, and other teams around the league because, again, this was a delicate situation. I don't think people wanted to touch or be near. And now we're talking about it. And I think it's distracting the Canucks. It's a distraction that wasn't necessary and was brought on by themselves. So the Canucks have to do something. Whatever they do, whether it's moving out Quinn Hughes or figure out a way to silence the noise, they got to do it. And it's something to watch. And again, where does he go? And what do they get for him? Something to watch. So Jim Biringer, NHLRumors.com. Please subscribe, like the video, comment below. Guys, take care, and we'll be back again.